Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Alexander Florzone, and today I got something super special all the way from Europe, from the UK. It's called the NowLight. The company Deciwatt was kind enough to send this thing over for me to take a look at and review and film a video about. So that's super exciting. It's the first time anybody's ever sent me anything to review. So that's awesome. I want to like it. I really do. But we'll see, I guess. So basically, I just opened the box, just take a little peek, but otherwise, most of everything in here will be quite a surprise to me. So basically, what this is, it's like a battery bank generator light bulb. The concept of it was pretty much to create a source of power and specifically light for people who live off the grid in poorer countries usually, or just for somebody who's out camping. Oh, it's heavy. It's heavier than I expected. So I think we'll kind of take a look at what comes in the box. So we got this is the main system right here with the cord connected to it. Here we have some mounting stuff, a little USB cable for charging. That's right, you can charge it from the wall, or there's three ways of charging it. You can charge it from the wall, you can manually pull the cord, or you can connect it to the solar panel, which also comes with it. Very cool. But the point is that you don't have to rely on those things, because you can always just pull the cord, unless you have no arms. But I hope you have arms. And then you have another light. Basically, this is just another light that you can plug in to this thing to run off of its power to have light somewhere else. It's a little more versatile than the unit when it's mounted on the wall or something. This way you can grab this and move it around and light whatever you need to without having to grab the whole package. Alright, so that looks like what we got. We'll take a look at the instructions. I'm really excited. Basically, what the NowLight is, it's a battery bank generator light. I would say that its prime purpose is that it's a light, and the secondary purpose that it has is also being able to charge a phone, much like your standard battery bank, except the big gimmick with this product is that it's got a cord here that you can pull to charge it up. And when you pull it, it'll fill up the percent to 100%. So as you can see here, it's not just the main unit. We have a whole set, but starting with the main unit, it provides the input and output, as well as pole charging and a light. We also have a secondary light here, which plugs into the main unit, and we have a solar panel here, which plugs into the main unit to charge it. You can also charge it from the wall with a cord. So first of all, we'll take a look at the specs of the whole kit, and then we'll talk about how it really is to use it and its purposes and kind of give it a good review. So to start off, we got the main unit has a 3200 milliamp hour battery in it, which is very small if you're thinking about battery banks, but we have to remember that this is not its primary purpose. You can generate up to 20 watts, apparently, from pulling the cord here, whereas those old spinny flashlights, they tend to apparently do around 3 to 5 watts. For my tests, I found that it would take about 40 minutes of constant pulling to get this thing charged fully, which is really hard. I think it was 5 minutes I spent to sort of test out just what it would take, and I was pretty worn out. I don't think I could have gone more than maybe 10 or 15 minutes max before I was right worn out. But luckily, we have the solar panel here, which outputs 3 watts, 5 volts, and it is supposed to charge up the full battery in about 6 hours, which I found to be pretty accurate from the tests that I ran. I wasn't able to run great tests since it is freezing cold out there and I couldn't set out the whole unit, so I had to run a cord out the door and place my solar panel the best I could in the sun. But if you're able to get the solar panel sitting out for 6 hours, you're going to end up with about a full battery. As for the actual output of the bank, we have a light here which goes all the way from 5 to 160 lumens on 6 settings. It's the same as the light in here. I'm not sure if it's the exact same light, but it has the same amount of lumens, the same settings. It connects into one of 2 ports down here, and you can also connect another light from this light underneath this casing. It pops open. You can plug. You can plug another light in there and kind of chain them along. You also have a USB-A 5-volt 1-amp output. Taking a good look at the I/O, we can wrap it up with pretty much saying that we have 2 outputs for your sat lights. We have one input for power from either USB charging or from the solar panel, and we have our one USB-A out at 5 volts and 1 amp, which isn't going to do a whole lot. That won't charge an iPad, for example, something like that. But I guess you shouldn't be expecting to with only 3,200 milliamp hours in there. We also have our 2 buttons. We have the main power button, which is used to turn on the unit and to change the light settings. And we have a button just underneath it on the bottom of the unit, which is used to check the battery percentage. If you just give it a click, it'll give you a P something, which I guess stands for percentage something out of 100. Before we carry on with this review, I just wanted to say that most of you guys aren't actually subscribed who watch the channel, and you still seem to enjoy the content, so please check out that subscribe button if you would like to see more content like this, if you enjoy it, because it's absolutely free, and I would appreciate it a lot, and you'll see more of it, and you'll probably appreciate that. So win-win. Now that we've gone over all the specs, I guess we'll just kind of take a look at how it is in actually using it. So some of the highlight features for me were, there's a couple hooks that it comes with. I only have one here because one of them is screwed into a stud, but this screws in and you can either hook your whole unit on it for pulling the cord, hanging it on the wall, or you can hang one of these from it. So that was just kind of nice that they included that feature. There's also hooks on these satellites to make it convenient. Another neat thing that it's got is that when you start pulling the cord or charging it, basically it lights up the little display here and it'll give you a time measurement. And I believe that what that time measurement is how much light you'll get. Maximum, mind you, on 5 lumens, but I believe it's how much light you'll get from the power that you generated from pulling or from charging with the solar panel, and I'm assuming also wall charging. Wall charging is one thing that I did not test, since it is only a 3,200 milliamp hour battery in there. I figure it's going to be pretty standard, so I didn't think that required too much review. Another feature we have here is the easy adjust cord. I'll get a zoom in for this one, but basically these links, it comes 2 links smaller than this is now. I expanded it to its maximum size, but it's really easy to do and undo. All you do is look at that little space there on the one side and push it onto one of the little posts on the back of the unit here. That will pop it apart and then very easily clip it back together like such. One of the things that I was pretty impressed and happy with is actually the length of the cords on the satellite and on the solar panel. As you can see, it just kind of keeps going. I'm not sure exactly how long these are, but they're for sure 10 feet. And I believe the one on the solar panel is the same length. I was able to plug it in while this was sitting on my windowsill inside and run the solar panel cord connected and out the door, well, the door was closed since it's the Canadian winter, and have the solar panel sitting way over on the other side of my deck. That was definitely something that really came in handy. Now, I hate to say it, but I do have some bad things to say about this. There are a few little features and nicks that I was like, okay, weird. One thing is that if you're taking this out camping, for example, because you want some off-the-grid power, it's going to be hard getting it set up to pull the cord. You'd have to set it up to a tree or something somehow, but there's only really one way to set it up properly, and that is to put a hook into the wall and hook it around this back section here. I tried hanging it from the string from a doorknob just to test it out, and it was just spinning all over the place while I was trying to pull the cord, and it was just a big mess. That would be fine, except that your hands and your muscles just get so much more worn out so much faster when it's moving around and you're trying to keep control of it. It's a lot easier when it's on something secure, so it would be really nice if there was some sort of feature with it, maybe some grooves in here, so that you could wrap a string around and all the way around a tree, something like that, just so that it's a little more friendly to those who are, you know, taking it out somewhere where they don't have a stud where they can drill a hole and screw in their little hook. Another weird thing, I don't know if it's a glitch with my unit or if this is just a sort of, maybe just a oversight in engineering. Understandable, it's kind of small, but basically when you have it charging with the solar panel, I found, after, I'm not sure how long, but I would leave it charging, it would show me the percentage of how much it was charged, but then when I came back, it would just show the clock of how much light time I had with that charge. And when I pressed the button for the battery indicator, it wouldn't pop it up until I pushed the power button and cycled it all the way up like that, all the way down to this again, and then when I pressed the button, it would show me the battery indicator, which was kind of an annoying little thing, but it certainly doesn't cripple the product in any sense. Now, a sort of big disappointment that I had is the solar panel's kickstands. The solar panel feels okay until you feel this little kickstand here. There's supposed to be two of them. I actually lost one because it just falls out so easily. They're these little plastic kickstands, very flexible. You feel like you're just gonna destroy it if you push it too far. But I accidentally hit it on something while I was trying to set it up, and it just kind of pops out like that. It doesn't break, they pop out nicely, but they feel really, really cheap, and I've already lost one. Of course, you could be careful and just not lose yours, but it would be nice if that wasn't such a concern, especially with the full NowLight kit costing 170 Canadian dollars. It would be really nice to not have to run into little issues like that when it comes to build quality. On the other hand, the rest of it, the main unit, feels great. It's very well built, very sturdy. The cord feels pretty good, even though it's plastic. At first I was a little nervous about it, but I think that cord will last a long time. Now the satellite external light sort of suffers a little bit from the cheap feel, but not as much as the solar panel. It's definitely just because it's a lot lighter than the main unit, so in comparison, right away you naturally feel like this has got to be cheaper. But I think it's pretty good build quality. Now to my main complaint about this product as a whole is the battery. I'm sorry, but the battery is just so small from such a, what you might call a high-end battery bank related product. Only 3200 milliamp hours. Most phones, if not pretty much all phones nowadays, are bigger than that. And even then, I found that I was getting about 1% on my Google Pixel 2 XL for every 2% on the NowLight, which was a little disappointing, especially with being able to set up a solar panel and being able to plug it into the wall. I think it would make sense to have a lot larger battery, you know, even just put up the cost from 170 bucks to 200 bucks to just give it a nice fat 10,000 milliamp hour battery so you can really stock up on the sunny days or when you're plugging in at home before you go off the grid. That about wraps up all the technical side of everything that I have to say about it. To give it a sort of final verdict as a product as a whole, should you buy this? Should you avoid it? It really depends. This is an extremely situational product. Basically, if you don't go out really off the grid camping a lot, or if you don't do any sort of activities that would limit your access to outlets and electricity, then this is the most pointless product out there. On the other hand, if you're somebody who's going out camping a lot, if you love off-the-grid camping, you're going out in the wilderness, you like to rough it, but you also don't like to light up your tent with a candle or matches, you might want to look into something like this, because you're always going to have light. As long as you can haul this thing around, it only takes a few minutes to pull the cord and get it charged up enough for a few hours of light. And it's a great backup. All it takes is apparently 1 minute of pulling this cord, probably pretty hard, just to get 15 minutes of call time. So come time that you really need a phone or there's an emergency, you can literally charge this thing up in just a few minutes, fast enough to make a call. So for the hardcore camper, this is actually really great. If you're camping out in the summer, set up the solar panel with your NowLight, you'll be good. You won't ever have to pull the cord as long as you have this set up and it's in the light. Heck, even if you had like a backpack on or something and you were hiking, you could probably set this up on the back of your backpack and have this sitting in your bag, and you could just charge it up just like that. It only takes 6 hours to reach a full charge. I found that to be quite true. So it's everything that it promises, it delivers. The truth is, this product it totally delivers on everything. It's just a matter of whether you want those things or not. The solar panel, great. The secondary light here, super handy for inside a tent. It certainly seems to me that the NowLight is built for two things: people who live off the grid and people who are going off the grid. And simple as that, it does its job well. There are a couple minor quality issues, example, solar panel, but other than that, I guess I could just say that I understand why it's $170. It makes sense with the full package here. It's quite a lot of hardware. But anyway, if you're a camper, maybe check out the NowLight. It might be something that works really well for you. If you never go camping and you don't like to leave your house, don't buy the NowLight. Don't buy it, but you should probably leave your house because it's good for you. But anyway, thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you to DesiWatt for sending me this video. I'm making the video. For sending me the product for the video. I had a lot of fun making the video. The link for the NowLight will be down in the description, so you can check it out if you want to check it out. Please like the video if you enjoyed this review. Please subscribe if you want to see more interesting products like this one. Definitely pretty neat, and I had a lot of good time. I had a lot of fun looking into it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.